Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack a truly fascinating story. It's about this massive collision between modern social obligations and traditional family expectations. We are looking at a marriage that went from joyful wedding celebrations to literal divorce papers in just 30 days. And the craziest part? The catalyst wasn't infidelity or financial ruin or anything like that. It was a dramatic, unyielding clash over a new bride's external social network. It's a gripping narrative, and it forces us to ask, where do our obligations to our friends and community actually end, and where do our obligations to a new spouse begin?
So, to really wrap our heads around this rapid breakdown, we have to look at the defining accusation of the whole story. This quote comes straight from Mina, the mother-in-law. She states, "My daughter-in-law has 5 families." Now, she isn't speaking literally about multiple marriages here. She's expressing this profound frustration that her new daughter-in-law, Jyoti, operates as if she's managing several different households all at once. She's constantly running off to aid neighbors, co-workers, and childhood friends, all while her actual new marital home kind of takes a back seat.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The central mystery we're unpacking today is exactly this. Why would a new bride risk her marriage for her boss, neighbors, and friends? Throughout this explainer, we're going to impartially look at the deep-seated reasons why Jyoti prioritizes these external social obligations so fiercely, even as it pushes her new husband, Gaurav, and his family to the absolute breaking point.
To truly grasp the intensity of this situation, you have to recognize how rapidly this relationship deteriorated. This wasn't a slow burn over a few years. It was whiplash. The friction started at week 0, right during the pre-wedding chuda ceremony, where Jyoti was distracted by a friend's crisis. By day 1, during her griha pravesh, her ceremonial first entry into the marital home, she's transferring money to a friend. By day 3, the Peli Rasoi, or first cooking ritual, she's inviting her boss over. And the whole thing completely implodes at week 4, on their 1-month anniversary.
Now, what's really interesting here is the core ideological clash at play. On one side, we've got the traditional expectation held by Mina and Gaurav. In their worldview, marriage is this transition where a bride shifts her primary focus and energy almost exclusively to her new marital home. But on the other side, we have Jyoti's reality. For her, getting married doesn't just hit the pause or delete button on her pre-existing communal duties. Not at all. She simply tries to stack her new marital role right on top of her existing ones, totally refusing to sever her outside ties.
Section 1. Defining the 5 families.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. These 3 key incidents perfectly encapsulate Jyoti's mindset. First up, her friend Sheetal needed urgent college fees. Jyoti's action? She transferred 10,000 rupees right in the middle of her own welcome ceremony. Her rationale is simply that she is responsible for her friend's well-being. Second, her elderly neighbor, Pinky Tai, falls. Jyoti drops her wedding prep to rush her home because she sees her neighbors as an extension of herself. And third, her boss gets sick from eating outside food, so Jyoti actually invites him to her sacred first meal ritual at her new in-laws' house. She reasons that if anyone she spends her days with is struggling, well, she just has to step in to help.
Actually, this brings us to a really telling piece of the source material. When confronted about inviting her boss over, Jyoti states, "If anyone in my office has a problem, it is my responsibility." So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that Jyoti isn't doing any of this out of malice toward her in-laws. She operates under a highly expansive sense of duty. She spends 8 hours a day with her colleagues, so in her mind, they automatically fall under her umbrella of care. If we try to define family strictly from Jyoti's perspective, it looks very, very different from a traditional family tree. For her, family is this broader community bound by loyalty, personal responsibility, and ongoing support. It's not just defined by blood or marital ties. When a friend needs tuition or a neighbor is sick, her loyalty compels her to act immediately. She views these community members as part of her true, chosen family.
But of course, this expansive worldview repeatedly collided with the realities of her new household. The friction was relentless, taking urgent calls during the sacred chuda ceremony, transferring money during her literal first steps into the new house, leaving to check on her own mother on day 1, and perhaps most alarmingly for Gaurav, leaving the house completely unannounced late at night to visit a sick uncle. Each of these actions, even though they were driven by her loyalty to her community, felt like a direct rejection to her new family.
Right, but to understand the other side of this, we have to look at Mina's philosophy, which is summarized perfectly here. When a person has their own family, they get busy with it. From the mother-in-law's perspective, marriage naturally narrows a person's focus. The expectation is that a new bride is going to invest her time and energy into building bonds within her new home. So, to Meena, Jyoti's constant outward focus meant she was completely failing to nurture the most important relationship she had just committed to.
Section 2. The Anniversary Breaking Point.
Let's see how all this tension builds to the rapid, step-by-step escalation of that final night. Both sides are frustrated, both feel entirely justified in their worldviews, and it all finally snaps on the couple's 1-month anniversary. Step 1. In a gesture of goodwill, the in-laws actually plan a surprise room decoration to celebrate the couple's 1-month milestone. Step 2. Jyoti gets a call from her friend Sheetal, who just landed a job thanks to Jyoti's earlier financial help. Sheetal insists Jyoti meet her at the train station immediately. Step 3, true to her nature, prioritizing her friend's milestone, Jyoti slips out of the house secretly. And Step 4, Garv discovers the empty room, realizes she has once again prioritized an outside relationship over their marriage, and he reaches his absolute limit. He decides that very night to send her divorce papers.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful question drawn directly from Jyoti's own internal monologue as her marriage crumbles. After marriage, do all previous relationships and meanings end? It's such a complex boundary. Jyoti's deep sense of loyalty to her 5 families was a beautiful trait to her community, for sure, but a fatal flaw to her marital home. It brilliantly illustrates the tension between maintaining our independent identities and fulfilling traditional commitments. So, what do you think? Where exactly should that line be drawn? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the structures around us.